And hello, everybody, and welcome here to Coca-Cola Super Speedway as we're getting set for the Coca-Cola 499, the first race of the NR2003 Diva Cup Series. Getting ready for 26 laps of racing here today. And if this race weekend was any indication, based off both the Diva trucks and Diva Bush, we're in for a very exciting race here today. Amber Whitecastle on the pole, Jill Thomas alongside Molly Thomas, in run number two, alongside Elena Aurora. As you look at the rest of the starting grid, Courtney Lynn will start in last place. As the cars are now rolling off behind the patriotic pace car. Of course, we had one caution in our Truck Series race 2 days ago. However, in yesterday's Bush race, the Diva Bush race, they had two cautions. And it's the same conditions that we ran in the Diva Bush series yesterday with the sunshine out. So will that be a big factor going into today's race, or do we think we're going to see some patience? We're going to have to wait and see. Next week, we're going to Rockingham, North Carolina for the second race of the Diva Cup Series. They will be joining Diva Bush as Diva Trucks will take their first of 3 off weeks. Before the following week, we head to Las Vegas for Diva Bush and Cup. In fact, next week, the following week, and the week after that will be just Diva Bush and Cup coming your way from Rockingham, North Carolina, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and we're going to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Don't worry, the Diva Truck Series will be going to Atlanta later in the season. Those are your first 4 venues we're going to. As the pace car is off, here we go. 26 laps of racing. Who is going to win the Coca-Cola 499? We're about to find out in 26 laps time. Green flag is in the air. We're racing at Coke Super Speedway. The truck race was the only race that was in cloudy conditions. The Diva Bush race was in sunny conditions yesterday, and we're having sunny conditions here today for the Diva Cup Series. Everyone has taken the green. This is race number 1 of 36 for the Diva Cup Series. And I thought I saw an incident in the back. Somebody got turned. And whoever got turned ended up saving it. As Amber Whitecastle will lead the first lap, the 2 JGR teammates of Molly and Jill Thomas running side by side. That is for the second position. That's Ashley Reynolds in the 88 car. The UPS Ford out of Robert Yates Racing. This is the first of 2 races we have today to cap off this race weekend. Of course, we got a bigger group. We're going to have 2 races of 26 laps of racing for the Diva Cup Series because they are going to be divisions. You're seeing the first race right now, which is the Diva Cup Series. And of course, we got Another group of Diva drivers you will see in race number 2. So this is kind of like 52 laps of racing. Combine this one. Ashley Reynolds running in third. That's Brittany White running in the Hooters number 11. For Brett Bonine Racing, Lisa Simpson, Lauren Ekstrom in the 12. She's got a new teammate in the number 12. Used to be Becky Walters in that ride. Of course, Becky Walters will be in race number 2. You will see her later on. That's Alicia Marquez, Mia Watson, the 45. Down the slates, let's check the back of the field. Courtney Lynn's back here. That's Brenda Eveling running the DuPont 200 year paint scheme on her Chevrolet out of Hendrick Motorsports. We probably will not see this paint scheme again until we go to Dover later in the season. I also failed to mention the Diva Busch Series schedule will be about 33 races. Diva Cup will be 36. None of them will have a playoff system. It'll just be driver with the most points wins the race. Simple as that. There's Carlos Sanat. That's the new driver right there. That's Annie Crenshaw in the 2. And of course, you notice the 2 and the 8 have the real sponsorship, not the Rusty Wallace Dale Earnhardt Jr. schemes. That's the Miller Lite Dodge. And then you saw the 8 car. There's the 8 car. This with the real sponsorship, the Budweiser car. That's Matilda Cobb who's running that car. We're going to go back to Jill Thomas. Amber Whitecastle's right in the middle of the JGR sandwich. You notice the field's a lot spread out than what we had in both the trucks and the Diva Busch series event. Diva Trucks and Diva Busch, to be more specific. Of course, as I mentioned, trucks, their next race will be Darlington Raceway. That'll be when all 3 series are back together. Of course, we will have the Diva Busch and Diva Cup coming your way from Rockingham, as I said, next week. And then we're going to go to Viva Las Vegas. And then to Atlanta Motor Speedway. That is the first 4 races we're going to go to on the schedule. And unlike the 2003 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, we are going to go to some road course events for all 3 series. So that way they each have a road course race. Excuse me. Which I may end up doing divisions in season 2. I don't know. I may just do just this one race for Diva Cup. So far, Jill Thomas currently leading this race. And surprisingly enough, unlike our trucks and our Diva Busch Series races we've had here this weekend, we have not seen our first caution. Of course, it took part on lap 4 in Busch yesterday. Took us to lap 8 in the truck race 2 days ago. And we haven't had the yellow yet. And we're getting closer to the midway point of today's race here in Diva Cup. So I guess these Diva Cup Series drivers learned something from both the trucks and Busch races from these past 2 days. Being patient. And patience is rewarding them. If we can go into a quiet run. Oh, as soon as I say that, the caution's out. We've got a big wreck. Becky Walters is around. Well, so much for what I was going to say. Hannah Blue Jay, Maddie Crenshaw involved. Also, Melissa Cooper involved. And that's a huge break for Ekstrom. I think Ekstrom's gotten damaged. I think Courtney Lynn lost the draft. That's good for her. So we went a little bit further in both trucks than trucks and Diva Busch from these past 2 races. As the caution is out for the first time on lap number 11 as we're getting to the midway point of the race. Now, let's make sure these drivers know to slow down. I'm chasing up to the 20. And surprisingly enough, we went a lot further than the Diva Trucks and Busch Series drivers. So, amen to that. First caution's out here at Coca-Cola Super Speedways. We're nearing the midway point of today's Coca-Cola $4.99. Let's jump back, look at a replay to see what happened to drivers like Lauren Ekstrom, Melissa Cooper, and Becky Walters in our first caution of the day. Well, this was the theme for this whole race weekend is turn number 2, and we saw a lot in both Diva Trucks and Diva Busch where all of our incidents have taken place, which is off of 2. That's Brooklyn Carter in the 25, and looks like Maddie Crenshaw hooked her BFF, Brooklyn Carter. That's where Becky Walters got a piece of it. There's the 43 going around, and who was that escaped? That's Maria Steiner in the 30. Lauren Ekstrom. Let's see, how did Lauren Ekstrom get a piece of this in that Altel Dodge? Looks like she might have. Let's take a slow. Let's go on board with her. Oh, she already got the damage. Yeah, you see the contact there. By the way, Maddie Crenshaw and Brooklyn Carter, those are Taylor's 2 drivers, Zachary Taylor's 2 drivers. Ekstrom got a piece of the Becky Walters machine, launched the Dodge Dealers UAW number 9 Dodge. And there's a hood buckle on the Altel Dodge. And, boy, nearly hit the Motorcraft Ford of Maddie Crenshaw. And there's where, and then Crenshaw gets hit by Hannah Blue Jay in the Lowe's Chevrolet. And Courtney Lynn, I don't know if she lost the draft or not, but she better be glad she got away with this because now she just gained enough spots. I don't know if she's got an engine problem or not, but Courtney Lynn dodged a major bullet. And that's what brought out our first caution of the day. There's Melissa Cooper leaving the scene of the accident. And she does have some damage to the Cheerios Betty Crocker Dodge out of the Petty Enterprises. So that's what brought out our first caution of the day. Let's jump back to the restart here at Coca-Cola. Getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here on lap number 15 as we're past the halfway point of today's race. Jill Thomas is your race leader. Amber Whitecastle second. Mary Morris in the 10 is third. Chrissy House is fourth. Gwen Tennyson fifth. Mackenzie Thompson sixth. Brittany White seventh. Prudence Martindale eighth. Ashley Reynolds ninth. And Mia Watts will complete the top 10. Drivers out after that incident, only 3 to be precise, and we got away with only 3 cars out of the race. We'll take it. Those drivers are Hannah Blue Jay, the 43, that's Melissa Cooper, and Maddie Crenshaw, who is now out of the race. Those 3 have taken those cars behind the wall. They've gone to the infield care center as a result. We're going to restart on lap number 16 of 26. As I said, we're past the halfway point. We only have, that would give us a total of 11 laps to go. So we've only had one caution so far in this event. But as the laps tick down, the pulse rate's going to tick up. Pace car is off. We're only going to have 39 drivers on the lead lap and in the race. I'm not so sure what's going on with Courtney Lynn's car because, like I said, I don't know if she's got a problem or what because she is off the paces. We're back to green. Let's see what's going on with the 4. Yeah, it looks like she's got an engine problem or something because she's not even meeting minimum speed. And Crystal Fontaine is in trouble. The 17 has come to pit road, so not entirely sure what is wrong with the DeWalt Ford from Rush Racing. That is a tough break for Crystal Fontaine. That's another position, by the way, for Courtney Lynn. And we're getting a report the 4 car may be down on cylinder, so that's a shame for Courtney Lynn, why she didn't qualify that well. Qualified last in this race. And Courtney's trying to keep up, but unfortunately not good. So Courtney Lynn's going to have her work cut out for her as far as the championship is concerned. But like I said, we're only in race 1 of a 36 race schedule. So Courtney Lynn's got plenty of time to get ourselves to the front. And she's definitely looking forward to our next race next week from Rockingham, North Carolina. We're inside of 10 to go. So if we get another caution, all restarts will be single file from here on out. Mia Watts representing the petty colors. He's actually the only petty car left in the race now that Melissa Cooper has gone behind the wall. Annie Crenshaw up here at the front. The younger Crenshaw sibling, of course, her sister Maddie Crenshaw out of the race. So Annie Crenshaw, the only Crenshaw driver left in this race. And no, I'm not talking about Michael McIntur's family relative, just so anyone is aware about that. There's Brooklyn Carter. Looks like she didn't get any damage after the contact with Maddie Crenshaw. So bet you there's going to be some interesting words that'll be coming from those two girls as they're going to plead to Zachary Taylor of don't be mad. Even though Zachary Taylor would never do that to his drivers, in my opinion. And here comes Lindsay Sutton up here, the Kikkoman Ford for the Travis Carter Racing Team. Good run for Lindsay Sutton. Of course, one of the drivers who's been a bit of a bit undershadowed, and she's becoming a dark horse as far as coming up to the field is concerned. As Courtney Lynn, and looks like Lauren Grubius has lost the draft as a result. Becky Walters and Lauren Ekstrom are already off the pace due to the damage they received on their 2 race cars, the Dodges, the 9 and the 12. Can anyone catch the Jasper Engines Ford Taurus out of the Jasper Engines team? I'm watching Fox 25 News as of this recording because the Texas Rangers made the World Series again. Can third time be the charm as of this recording? We will have to find that out the same time as we do. Jill Thomas currently now taking the race lead. As we're coming down to 5 laps of racing to go. And I said this in both the Diva Trucks and Busch Series, lap traffic can come into play towards the end of this race. Can't wait to go racing for the Diva Busch and Diva Cup at Rockingham. As we're down to 4 laps to go, be 3 to go next time by. And looks like, unfortunately, Crystal Fontaine's problems is now terminal. A clutch has let go on the 17 Roush Fenway racing car, so Crystal Fontaine's day is done. That's a tough break for her. And that's why I put that 17 car back behind the wall. So she joins Maddie Crenshaw, Hannah Blue Jay, and Melissa Cooper, who are behind the wall now of the race. Down to 3 laps to go. Be 2 to go next time by, and they're catching Lauren Ekstrom pretty soon. I did a test race for, I think, one of these mods, and we saw the lap car cause a massive accident. Of course, we haven't seen the big one in 2 of our 3 races, if you include this one. And looks like Melissa Cooper, or not Cooper, excuse me, Lauren Ekstrom went to the bottom of the racetrack, as we're now down to 2 laps of racing to go. It looks like the leaders are trying to get around the Altel Dodge, and looks like the 19 got held up. That's Monica Towns. And that's allowed 13 cars to get away and possibly try to run down the 67, who just now took the lead from the 20. By the way, we're coming to the white flag. Keep an eye on that 12 of Ekstrom, as she's now still holding some people up. Going to cost some people some good points finishes as a result. That 0's already gone from 0 to hero. That's Jillian Black. She's going to go from 18th to outside the top 30. So we're going to go back. Whoa, the 15 car got a little squirrely. That's Prudence Martindale. So we're on the last lap of the race. The 20 just got around the 67 while we were watching the 22 get held up. Can the 67 do anything to the 20? Becky Walters won't play a factor in this one. Off of turn 4 for the final time, it'll be a JGR 1-2. Jill Thomas will win the Coca-Cola $4.99 here at Coke Super Speedway. First win of her Diva Cup career for Jill Thomas. First win for Joe Gibbs Racing here in the Diva Cup Series. Since this is the debut series of the debut season, and you know the rest is history. Not only it's a JGR 1-2, it's a Thomas sister 1-2. Jill and Molly finished 1-2. Amber Whitecastle got 3rd. Annie Crenshaw will get 4th. 5th will be Sydney Vortex, Ashley Reynolds 6th, Mary Morris 7th, Gwen Tennyson was the highest Hendrick car in 8th, Brittany White 9th, and Prudence Martindale will complete the top 10. Top 15 was completed by Mackenzie Thompson, Brooklyn Carter, Chrissy House, Mia Watson, Elena Aurora. Very good run for Elena, part of the DVR program. Top 20 was completed by, that's Annie Winters. Yes, it is. Ginger Foutley, Matilda Cobb, Lisa Simpson, and Maria Steiner. Look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. A lot of big names I see back here at the rear of the field. Big teams to talk about. A couple of Roush teams had troubles today. Brenda Eveling, 34th. Lauren Grubius, 36th. Becky Walters was the last car that finished on the lead lap in 37th. Lauren Ekstrom was the only car that finished off the lead lap, 1 lap down to be exact. And 4 drivers did not see the checker flag. 3 due to the first caution. That would be Hannah Blue Jay, Melissa Cooper, and Maddie Crenshaw. And Crystal Fontaine blew a clutch coming to the restart, and that's what put the DeWalt Ford behind the wall. So that's a tough break for them. Those drivers will look to bounce back next week when we head to Rockingham, North Carolina, along with the Diva Bush Series. But that's a great way to cap off our race weekend. And here's a novel concept. The top 3 cars finished 1, 2, 3. The Thomas sisters and Amber Whitecastle. They started in the first 3 spots of today's race. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race from Coca-Cola Super Speedway, If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCS Race Crew today. We show your full finish results. You'll see your point standings heading into next week at Rockingham, North Carolina, as we're heading to North Carolina Speedway, also known as the Rock, where that track eats up a lot of tires in the process. And then the following week, we're going to head off to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, as we're going to gamble in Viva Las Vegas. But until then, at Rockingham, North Carolina, I've been Diva signing off. We thank you for watching another broadcast courtesy of PCS Rate TV, the best in racing since 2017. So long from Coca-Cola Super Speedway.